The Lismore Koala Hospital is busier than ever. Summer is the peak time for dog attacks and car accidents.
Right now is trauma season, so we have an ICU that's full and we just manage as best we can with the space we've got.
But there's only so much a veterinarian can do.
We do see the worst of it. It's because there's no habitat left. It's suburbia, there's patches of gum in between houses. So you drive just up the street here, we've got local koalas that live just on the side of the road, on the busy road up there, and that's because they have nowhere else to go.
One of the areas where koalas do find sanctuary is this valley just north of Lismore, and it's also the proposed site for a new dam.
Koalas are already on this dive towards extinction, and we can't afford to lose any other trees. We have to get extreme about this.
But dam supporters argue the community also needs to get extremely serious about water.
We're running out of time. We have 3 years left. If we don't do something, we'll be on permanent water restrictions.
Koalas have been officially listed as vulnerable in New South Wales and Queensland since 2012. Drought and last summer's devastating bushfires pushed the species closer to extinction in some regions, with an estimated 5,000 koala deaths in New South Wales alone.
The work that we've done, particularly post-fire, has pretty well given us no doubt that this animal is now endangered. It's into that country where its very long-term existence is quite in jeopardy.
No one knows for sure how many koalas remain in the wild, prompting the Federal Environment Minister to announce a national census.
We don't have the big picture. We don't have enough data and information to inform us about how to really protect this iconic species.
But the region faces another pressing environmental issue. The local water authority believes it doesn't have enough supply to cope with climate change and a growing population. Last year, the Rouse County Council announced plans to build a $220 million 50 gigalitre dam to fill that gap. But the project would also flood koala habitat as well as Indigenous cultural sites and rainforest, the remnants of the so-called big scrub of New South Wales.
Our community needs to talk about this. We need to be talking about how we're going to find the water we need in the next 20 to 30 years. How are we going to make sure that we don't run out in a climate change future? It's coming.
The chair of the Rouse County Council, Keith Williams, was a keen supporter of the dam until late last year. But over the summer, he's had a change of heart.
I learned from this process that we can have an idea whether a dam's a great idea or not, but the practicality of building it is a separate matter. And I really think there are some major problems with building a dam at the Dunoon site.
But that doesn't mean the dam proposed for this valley is dead and buried. The Deputy Chair will be urging the board at a critical meeting next week to resurrect the project.
We know it's the most cost-effective option and it should be explored, but to go ahead and say no, absolute madness not to proceed and conclude with the studies so that you can make an informed decision.
Dam opponents say they will fight on.
And the corridor, obviously, we're focused primarily on food trees.
Yeah.
Macadamia farmer Bruno Bertolo has been working with the local land care group to plant more koala food trees and doesn't want all this work to go to waste.
One of the main reasons we were building this corridor is that it is in fact a long, narrow planting trying to connect up a couple of known koala habitats, and the dam, of course, slices straight through the middle of that.
And this is Rocky Creek here?
Yes, this is the lower part of the gorge.
Anti-dam campaigner Nan Nicholson says the environmental values of this valley are well documented. The Water Authority carried out extensive surveys of this valley only 9 years ago and found the dam would have a significant impact on threatened species, including the koala.
This is something we cannot negotiate on because there's no further place to retreat from. If we have this dam, destroy these places, what next?
One thing all board members agree on is that without this Dunoon Dam, water prices are likely to go up. It's a question of how much a community is willing to pay to protect the koala.
Water is life, and without it we've got very little. And at the moment we've got no strategy moving forward.
I certainly have sympathy with Rouse Water. They need to meet their charter, which is to provide safe water. But on the other hand, we also need to stop taking from the environment. If we can't protect our iconic marsupial, the koala, then I fear that we're not going to be able to protect anything. So at some point we have to say enough is enough.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.